AITA for wanting to cut off my dad after the creepy stuff he keeps saying to me? So I, 27F, have always had a weird relationship with my dad. Not bad exactly, just off. He was never abusive or anything dramatic like that, but he's always made comments that made me uncomfortable. Stuff that made me second-guess myself because technically, nothing he said crossed a specific line, but it felt wrong. As I got older, it got worse. When I was a teenager, he'd comment about how I was growing up so fast, but the way he said it made me feel like I needed to hide in oversized hoodies. If I wore makeup, he would say things like, "Wow, boys must be losing their minds over you," even though I was doing eyeliner like a raccoon at 14. My mom brushed it off every time. "He's just being protective. That's how dads are. You're overthinking it." I started avoiding him, wearing baggy clothes, avoiding hugs, giving him a wide berth in the house. It worked, sort of. Fast forward to now. I live on my own, have a stable job, and only see my parents at family events. But over the last year, my dad started making comments that have taken it from weird to creepy. At a family barbecue a few months ago, I wore a sundress, nothing revealing, literally knee-length and loose. My dad looked me up and down and said, "You look just like one of those actresses they cast to be the cute, innocent type. Bet you get a lot of attention dressed like that." Everyone laughed. I wanted to crawl out of my skin. Then at Christmas, he hugged me and held on too long, like way too long, while whispering, "You always smell so good, sweetheart." I froze. My mom rolled her eyes and said, "He's just being affectionate." Last week was the final straw. He called me at night just to check in, which is already odd because we don't talk on the phone like that. And during the conversation, he said, "I worry about you living alone. A pretty girl like you, men notice things, you know." I notice things. I actually felt my stomach flip. It was the first time I felt genuinely scared, not just uncomfortable. I didn't answer his messages for a few days. My mom texted me saying he was hurt and asking why I was being dramatic. She said he's just proud to have such a beautiful daughter. I told her his comments freak me out. She said I was sick in the head for twisting his words. Now I'm sitting here wondering if I'm the messed up one. But every instinct in my body tells me to cut him off completely, for my own sanity. Am I the asshole for wanting to go no contact with my dad? I didn't plan on confronting anything. Honestly, my goal was just distance. Quiet, invisible distance. Ignore his calls, keep replies short, show up to fewer family things. But apparently my dad noticed quicker than I expected. 3 days after the weird late-night call, I got a text from him. "Did I do something wrong, sweetheart? You've been distant." I stared at the screen for a long time. Part of me felt guilty, like I was abandoning some unspoken daughterly duty. The other part, the louder part, felt nauseous. I didn't answer. That evening, my mom called. And when I didn't pick up, she called again. Then again. Then she left a voicemail that basically said, "I don't know what attitude you've picked up lately, but your father is upset and you're making him feel terrible. Call him back." Something snapped in me. Not anger, just exhaustion. I texted her instead. "I don't want to talk right now. Dad's comments make me uncomfortable." I expected her to ignore it. She didn't. Instead, she sent a long, defensive wall of text about how I must have been reading too much Reddit and letting modern feminism brainwash me. That it was normal for dads to compliment their daughters, and I should be grateful mine still cares about me. Still cares about me? Like I'm a possession? I left her on read. 2 days later, I get a knock on my apartment door. I was expecting a package. Instead, I see my dad through the peephole. My entire body went cold. He knocked again, lightly. "Sweetheart? I just want to talk." I didn't move. I didn't breathe. He waited. For 10 minutes. At one point, he said through the door, "I'm worried about you. I hate feeling like you're slipping away from me." Slipping away? From him? I felt like I was going to throw up. Eventually he left, but not before sliding a note under the door. It said, "Please don't shut me out. I love you. You're my special girl." That word, special, made my skin crawl. I told my best friend about everything later that night. She's known about the weird vibes for years, but even she looked horrified when I mentioned the visit. She said, "You need boundaries. Real ones. Not soft ones." So the next day I texted both of my parents in a group message. "I need space. Please don't show up at my home unannounced. I'll reach out when I'm ready." My dad replied immediately. "Okay, sweetheart. Whatever you need." My mom replied, "This is ridiculous. He's your father. Stop treating him like a threat." I haven't responded since. But now I'm dealing with the fallout, my cousins messaging me, my aunt asking if I'm mad at the family, and my mom sending passive-aggressive quotes about ungrateful children who push away good parents. I'm starting to wonder if going no contact is my only real option. but the guilt is crushing me. After the group text, things quieted down for a few days. Quiet in the way the air gets before a storm, too still, too heavy. I tried keeping myself busy, longer shifts at work, cleaning my already clean apartment, going out with friends just so I didn't have to sit alone with my thoughts. But the guilt was always there. Guilt is sticky like that. Every time my phone buzzed, I jumped. Half expecting my dad, half expecting my mom, half dreading both. But strangely, the next message that actually mattered didn't come from them. It came from my younger cousin, Lila, 21F. We aren't super close, but we get along. She texted, "Hey, are you okay? Aunt Em has been saying weird stuff about you." I asked her what she meant, and Lila basically unloaded the group chat gossip. My mom had told the extended family that I was acting paranoid, accusing her husband of inappropriate things and refusing to talk until I get attention. It felt like someone punched me in the throat. Before I could reply, Lila sent, "TBH, I've always thought the way your dad talked to you was weird. I just never knew if it was my place to say anything." I sat with that message for a long time, because someone else noticing made it feel real. Valid. Later that night, while I was folding laundry, my phone rang. My mom. Again. I shouldn't have answered. But guilt, there it was again, made me swipe green. The moment I said hello, she launched into it. "Your father is heartbroken. He thinks you hate him. People are asking questions and it's embarrassing. Do you understand how this makes us look?" Not one word about how I felt. Not one word asking if I was okay. I kept my voice steady and said, "Mom, his comments make me uncomfortable. I need space." She scoffed so loudly I actually flinched even though she wasn't in the room. "Uncomfortable? He's your father. He loves you. The problem is you. You twist things. You always have." There it was. The gaslighting I grew up swimming in. And then she said something that made everything click into place. "You know he only compliments you because you're the daughter he's proudest of. Proudest. Special girl. Pretty girl. Innocent type. Smell so good. A pattern. A very obvious pattern." I ended the call mid-sentence. I don't even remember what she was saying, just that my heart was pounding and my vision was fuzzy. An hour later, my dad texted, "Your mom says you're upset. Please don't be scared of me. I'd never hurt you." That last sentence chilled me more than anything he'd said before. Because I wasn't scared of him physically. Not until he put that idea in my head. I didn't respond. The next morning, building security called my apartment. They said a man had shown up asking to be let in to check on his daughter, and they refused. They wanted to make sure I was aware. It was my dad. I felt my hands go numb. He wasn't supposed to come here. I told him. I told both of them. And he did it anyway. Something inside me, some final reserve of doubt, snapped clean in half. I called my best friend and said, "I think I'm done. Really done." She didn't even hesitate. "Good. Block his number. Block your mom too. You don't owe them access to you." I did it. My hands were shaking the whole time, but I did it. That was 2 days ago. Now I'm sitting here wondering if I'm overreacting or if I finally took the step I should have taken years ago. The fallout started almost immediately after I blocked my parents. I expected silence. Instead, my phone lit up nonstop with messages from unknown numbers, group chats I never wanted to be added to, Facebook DMs from relatives I barely talked to. Half of them said some version of, "Your mom is crying. Your dad is devastated. You're tearing the family apart." The other half were vague, passive-aggressive quotes about forgiveness, family loyalty, and how children owe their parents respect no matter what. I ignored all of it. That lasted until someone used a different tactic, my workplace. A receptionist pulled me aside and said, "There's a man at the front desk asking for you. Says he's your father." I swear my knees almost gave out. I told her under no circumstances to send him back, that I wasn't comfortable. She nodded and said she'd handle it. I hid in an empty office until HR texted that he had left. When I finally got home that night, I found a small envelope taped to my apartment door. My stomach dropped before I even touched it. Inside was a handwritten letter from my dad. His handwriting was neat, careful, almost like he wanted it to look comforting. "I don't know what happened to make you afraid of me. I love you more than anything. I can't sleep knowing you hate me. You've always been my special girl. Let me fix this." The word "special" sent a cold ripple down my spine. Again. Always again. That night, I didn't sleep. Not because I was scared he'd show up, because something in me finally felt done. Exhausted. Empty. There was no fight left, no explanation I owed them, no justification that would make it better. I made 3 decisions the next morning. 1. I emailed my building management and gave them both my parents' names. I asked for them to be added to the do not admit list. 2. I told my workplace to do the same. 3. I changed my phone number. For the first time in months, maybe years, my apartment felt quiet in a peaceful way, not a suffocating way. A few days later, Lila, the cousin who had privately supported me, reached out through my best friend since my number changed. She said, "Just so you know, a lot of us believe you. We always thought something was off. No one ever said anything because your mom shuts everyone down." It didn't fix anything, but it softened something in my chest. The truth is, going no contact didn't make me feel triumphant or powerful. It made me grieve something I never had, a normal father-daughter relationship. One where compliments were innocent and affection didn't make my skin crawl. I don't know what my dad intended. I don't know if he's self-aware or just deeply inappropriate. I don't know if my mom genuinely doesn't see it or refuses to see it. But I do know this. Being uncomfortable in your own skin, around your own parent, is not something you have to tolerate. And if walking away makes me the villain of the family narrative, then fine, I'll be the villain. At least now I feel safe. At least now I can breathe. Am I the asshole? Honestly,